She's not yours, it's just your turn. You've probably heard this phrase get thrown around in the red pill community over and over again. But you have to ask yourself, who's actually saying it and what does it actually mean? So, she's not yours, it's just your turn. To me, sounds like guys are saying this because women leave or cheat on them and it was no fault of their own. It just happened and they have no idea why it happens. It just happens. Women just cheat and leave on you. You just got to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. But you have to ask yourself, if this is continually happening with women over and over again, what's the common denominator of all these situations? It's you, not the women. You are the common denominator. So maybe it's you're choosing women that are really bad for you, or maybe it's the behavior that you're doing that's continually causing this behavior from women, whether they leave or cheat on you. And I would have to say the majority of cases is that. It's the same thing if you were a guy and your best friends, your best guy friends, were always, stealing from you or lying to you or flaking on you or never meeting up. Would you say that all men are fucking backstabbers and they never do, they never pull through, they're complete, stab you in the back at any chance they get? If that's continually happening, the problem is with you, not the other guys. Either you're choosing really bad, you're the friends that you keep or the girlfriends that you have, or it's something that you're doing that's continually causing people to take advantage of you. So when you say stuff like, oh, she's not yours, it's just your turn, it's basically a victim mindset of you just throwing up your hands and saying, like, there's nothing I could do, it's not my fault. But in most cases, it's pretty much your fault. I'm, I'm almost 40 years old and I still have never had a woman leave me or cheat on me. And it's not because I'm super lucky or because I'm completely naive to women's shitty behavior. It's simply because I don't overinvest in women and I don't chase them. Because when you chase a woman, you basically chase her into the arms of another man. So, but what is overinvestment? What does chasing, what does that even look like? And it's what the majority of guys do, which is why relationships end or get because of cheating or because of whatever by the woman, because the guy behaves in the same way that gives you the same results over and over again. And I'll go over about that behavior that causes these shitty results. The easiest way to tell who's chasing who in a relationship is to see who is doing all the texting, who is initiating all the texting, who is initiating all the calling. It's basically a litmus test to see which person wants the other person more. So if you are the one that's continually initiating contact with your girlfriend or wife, whatever, it's because you care more than she does. When it should be she should be the one that's spamming your phone, wanting to meet up, wanting to hang out, basically spending time with you. And if you're the one initiating all that, it communicates you're essentially chasing her. So cut it out, let her do all the chasing, and reward her for when she does. So if she calls and wants to meet up, you set a time and a place and you meet up with her and have a good time. But you don't initiate anything. You just wait for her. It's a lot easier, but guys have no self-control. They just want to see more and more of her and spend more and more time and get more and more sex. Just ease into it and let them do all the chasing. Spending money and gifts on women is another thing that basically communicates your lower status, communicates you're chasing them. Whenever you spend money on a woman, you basically sub-communicating that I need to spend money on you in order for you to spend time with me. I mean, it's fine once in a blue moon. Let's say she buys you something and you want to repay her back, go for it. But to initiate all these things with buying stuff for them is just a bad move. It basically communicates that you're lower status than she is, and you want to basically pay her in order to make up that difference. Over complimenting women, being so excited about a woman's beauty or sexiness is a huge turnoff. Again, it basically communicates that you don't get with women like her very much. So that's why you're so impressed by her. That's why you're so like enamored by her beauty or her sexiness, is because you just don't have very many experience with that much experience with women like her. And again, she doesn't want that. She wants you to be able to like get any woman that you like, all these hot women that are comparable to her. So otherwise, it just looks like she made a bad choice on you. So yeah, that's what I would say. I would say stop over complimenting them. Wait for them to compliment you, and you can compliment them back. But again, guys way overdo this, and it just lowers your status in relation to her. Like, if you were a high status guy, you wouldn't be that impressed by her beauty because you'd be used to getting girls like her. Spending too much non-sexual time together. This is a big one for guys that are actually living with a woman, because you spend so much non-sexual time together that it creates kind of like a roommate dynamic where you you spend so much time together, but not a lot of sex is happening at the same time. And yeah, it's almost like you're like dating your brother or sister. It's like it basically kills sexual attraction because there is no separation, there is no mystery. What's she doing? What's he doing? You need that kind of, that mystery to create attraction. And if you're constantly together doing boring shit, it's going to create sexual problems. So yeah, create distance. Even if you live with a place, like live in the same place as a woman, I would suggest having like your own separate space where you can get away from her, or just basically get out of the house and create some separation so it's not so like basically like a family dynamic. Okay, this is going to be a big one. Why women basically leave and cheat on men is because they basically put her needs ahead of their own. And contrary to popular belief, they don't want you to do that. Nobody wants to do that. It basically turns women off when you basically put all of her needs ahead of your own. What does that end up looking like? It means you're afraid to say no. At the end of the day, that's what it's going to look like. If you don't want to do something and she wants you to do it, you do it anyways because you're scared of drama, you're scared of losing her, you're scared of like her leaving you. So you end up basically bowing down and following her program, when it should be, I'm going to do what I want to do and you can do what you want to do. There's no controlling me. And that's what keeps women attracted to you, is the fact that they can't control you. They can't tell you what to do. If you want to do it, you'll do it. But if you don't want to do it, you don't do it. But as soon as you refuse to say no when that's really what you want, you lack a backbone. Women will eventually leave or cheat on you. Given enough time over and over, that's what will happen. Simply because you're not acting like a man. You're too pussy to say no to her. How are you supposed to say no to someone that's more aggressive than she is? All right, verbalizing how special or how much she means to you. This is another big thing that a lot of guys struggle with that turns women off in the long term. Verbalizing how much you love her, or how special she is. I mean, it's kind of a turn off in the grand scheme of things. Why not show her how much she means to you by being really good in bed? That's a lot more fun, and it means a lot more to her than just saying it. Show her. And it's fun anyways, so like, do the fun, easy thing. All right, the last guys, these are the alpha males that try to control every aspect of the woman's life, who they see, who they meet, who they talk to online, what they're doing 24 hours a day. These are the guys that get cheated on the most. And it's simply because all that paranoia comes from a place of weakness. If you thought that you were the best guy in the world and no one could compete with you, you wouldn't care about all these other men trying to ask her out, trying to hit her up, because it would just be stupid to you because you could replace her anytime you wanted to. So why would you worry about other men? Unless you thought that you were inferior to other men and other men were better than you, and you thought that, well, these guys could easily take my woman, so I better make sure that doesn't happen. I better make sure they stay away from her. I better make sure that she's not around any of these guys. A guy that doesn't care is a lot more powerful. He's got better things to do because he can replace her at any point, so he doesn't have to worry about other men. It all boils down to behaviors that lower your status in the relationship instead of increasing your status, which is what the majority of guys do. They act like they're inferior to the woman they're with, which creates like a massive turnoff to the woman they're with. A woman doesn't want to be with a guy that's below her. She wants the best guy she can get. So as soon as you stop acting like the best guy she can get, she'll start to look for other options. The reason why this is happening, why women are leaving or cheating on you, is most likely because you're acting lower status than she is. You're basically lifting her up and bringing yourself lower, which is what she doesn't want. She wants you above her. So I know it sounds like completely idiotic, but you kind of have to be an asshole and treat her beneath you because that's what she wants. It's kind of, yeah, it's a paradox, but that's where it is. And they'll tell you the complete opposite, and they want you to behave like you're beneath them, but that's not what they respond to. They respond to guys that act like they're above her. So when you find yourself saying, she's not mine, it's just my turn, this is still a victim mindset. And you've got to get out of that mindset and take accountability of the actions and the results that you're getting. If you're getting shitty results with women over and over again, the common denominator is you, and you've got to fix that behavior. It can be a bit difficult at first, but it all hinges on a sexual abundance. As soon as you have sexual abundance, you will put up with a lot less shit. And that's what keeps women around for as long as you want them. When you stop caring so much about the women that you're with, you will be able to keep them for as long as you want them. It's just that easy. And as soon as you stop caring too much, that's when you lose them. All right, guys, that's the video. Thanks for watching.